It's literally so common when you've been taught how to diet and not taught how to eat. When you increase your exercise routine and you find yourself constantly craving sweets, a lot of it has to do with the fact that carbohydrates, which break down into glucose, are our body and our brain's primary source of energy. And especially if you're doing higher intensity exercise, carbohydrates are actually the primary source of fuel for a higher intensity activity. Your body can take fat, and I don't mean body fat, I mean dietary fat, and convert it into glucose, but it takes a lot longer. I like to compare this to like Amazon Prime and USPS. Think about our body converting fat into glucose to be utilized as energy during exercise as USPS. It's a little bit slower, it's not coming to you as quickly, you're probably gonna feel a little bit more bogged down versus Amazon Prime. When we have carbohydrates readily available or glucose readily available to utilize during exercise, we're going to feel more energized and likely be able to output more while we're exercising. We don't just need glucose for exercise. We need glucose to literally survive and function. Your body has something called a basal metabolic rate, the amount of calories that it takes to exist and survive. For most females, that is anywhere from 800 to 1200 calories to simply exist and survive. All of those autonomic functions that go on in your body that you don't even have to think about, but your body needs energy in order to do those. You tack exercise, especially more intense exercise on top of that, your demand for glucose gets higher. Your demand for more energy gets higher. If you are to add more carbohydrates and specifically focus on more lower glycemic index carbohydrates, so things like whole grains, fruits and vegetables, beans, legumes, lentils, adding those into your meals and snacks, you're probably going to notice a decrease in sugar cravings. The reason that we crave those more like quick carbohydrates, so think things like candy or sweets or maybe even soda, goldfish, all of those different types of things, has to do with the fact that our body wants quick energy. When we have something like those whole grains, fruits and vegetables, beans, legumes, lentils, those types of carbohydrates contain more fiber, contain more protein, they're a little bit more slower to digest, especially when paired with protein, fat, and fiber at meals and snacks. Versus when we have those more quick acting carbs, our body uses that energy really, really fast, which then in turn we get hungry more quickly. For example, just start by adding in carbohydrates to your meals specifically. So let's say for breakfast, you're eating like 2 or 3 eggs, some chicken sausage, and then maybe some fruit like berries. Berries are going to be a lower carbohydrate fruit. They're not as dense in those carbs. So adding something like a slice of toast with a little bit of nut butter and honey is a great way to top off that breakfast, to add some extra carbohydrates and keep you more full and satisfied, balance out those blood sugar levels a little bit more, and replenish the glucose that you're using while you're exercising.